we are going to use the app PIXLR.com. It's a sort of a very lightweight version of sort of like Photoshop, and so it's going to be sufficient for what we're trying to do with this project. And the nice thing is you can run this on pretty much any device. Maybe not an iPad. I don't know. Some students are having problems with that. But for the most part, should work for you. And if you have Photoshop at home, you can also use that instead if you prefer. So the first thing I did was I chose a background image. When you choose the background image, you really want something that has kind of a lot going on. That way, when you add your different images into this, people have to really hunt for them. If your image is really simple and it doesn't have much going on in it, other than like maybe a main character, then it'll be really easy to pick out your images that you add. So that's why I picked this scene from Iron Man 3. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and add in another image on top of this so that I can start by cutting it out. So what I'm going to do is over on my layers on the right side, I'm going to click the plus button and I'm going to select add an image. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick out an image that I downloaded earlier from a movie. Okay, I've got something from Frozen here. Frozen 2. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and make this image smaller so that I can kind of see more of it. This allows me to see kind of the whole thing at once. And now that I have it kind of at a smaller size, not too small, because if I make it too small, then it's going to be really hard to edit. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at this size. And then what I want to do is remove everything in this layer that I don't want in my to show up in my background image. So I could keep the whole character intact, or, well, I'll start with that. So I could leave the whole character intact. So I'm going to start by using the Lasso Tool. And all I'm going to do is just kind of draw loosely around. This is a freehand drawing tool. Just kind of draw loosely around the main central image here. And then I'm going to leave that little diamond thing in there too, or crystal or whatever it is. All right. Now, once I have that, I am going to go ahead and I am going to do select, invert the selection, and then I'm going to do edit clear, or I can hit the delete key on my keyboard. So that allowed me to get rid of everything that was outside of the character. So now I can hit Control D, or I can go to select and do deselect. Now I still have more of this image that I need to get rid of. So there's more than one way to do this, just like there is in Photoshop. One way you could do it is simply by grabbing your eraser tool over on your tools here, and across the top, these are your brush types and sizes. You want something with a nice crisp edge, most likely, and kind of in the smallish range. It depends on what your picture size is, but I'm going to pick 5. You might have to pick a different size. I actually think 5 is a little small. I'm not looking at it, so I'm going to make it a little bigger here. All right, so now I can see it, and then I can actually just go in and start erasing it just like that, and you'll see that it'll erases it. And I can zoom in to get closer, and I'm going to just start kind of going along the edge of the character here, and I'm just going to start erasing away kind of around her edge here. And something that I'm doing, just like a little trick that I'm using, is I'm holding Shift and clicking and letting go, and then clicking and letting go again. And what that does is between the 2 points where I clicked, it's making a straight line. So that allows me to kind of get rid of stuff a little bit quicker. Just a little trick that I use. So I'm holding Shift down, clicking and letting go, clicking and letting go, and it's making a straight line in between. And now all this stuff on the outside I can just erase away real easily like this, because it's not touching anything, so it's just easy to go in and erase it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up erasing the background around this character. I'll see you in a minute. Now that I have this picture, the background cut out, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look for where I want to put this particular picture. It looks like I have a little bit of the top still remaining, so I'll have to cut that out. But I'm going to think about where I want to put this image.